Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share with you. I'm gonna be showing you the new Makeup Geek, dun dun dun, the new Makeup Geek blushes. Like, how beautiful are these? So these are launching today, June 15th. I wanted to get this video up when they launched so that way you could check them out, see swatches, because sometimes it's hard to tell online. And this way you can see for yourself what you like and what you would be interested in. The thing I love about Makeup Geek is that they're so affordable, they're cruelty free, and they're made in America. I mean, can't get much better than that. So the price of these are $12.99 for them in the little compact, and then they're $9.99 to get in the pan. And I love this Z palette. I always put my Makeup Geek stuff in a Z palette. It's so much easier, it's so much sleeker. I love the way it looks. And could you imagine me having like all of these individually just laid out? It would just take up too much space. And as far as the blushes go, I forgot to tell you there are gonna be 13 shades, and I will be showing you all of them. So the first shade that I'm gonna be showing you is called Summer Fling, and this is actually the color I have on my cheeks right now. I didn't even use that much, but this is extremely pigmented. Like, that is insane how pigmented it is, and they're so creamy and buttery. I love the texture of this. This is just a true orange with a little tiny hint of peach, but it reminds me of Modern Mandarin by MAC, which is one of my favorite MAC blushes. It was limited edition, but I believe it's permanent now. But honestly, I think these are exactly the same. This is $9. MAC blushes are what, $30 now? And it's so beautiful. With a tan, it's gonna be perfection. Next is the shade Romance. This color is like nothing I have in my collection, and this is the one that's intrigued me more than any other color in this palette. This is a peach with a little bit of a pink and a gold sheen all throughout the blush. When I swatch this on my hand, it reminds me of like a peachy, orangier, is that a word? Like a more orange version of Nars Orgasm, and I love glowy blushes. This is absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to wear this, and this is a blush that you can wear and you don't have to use a highlighter. It also is very similar to the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick Apricot that I mentioned in my last favorites video that I can't get enough of, and I think that they hit it out of the park with this color. Like, absolutely stunning. Next up is Love Affair. This is another color I don't really have anything like in my collection. It's a fuchsia with a little bit of a red undertone. So those of you with really deep tan to ebony skin tones are gonna love this blush because it's gonna show up and it's gonna give you more of like a flush. If you're super pale or fair, you're gonna have to go with a really light hand because I think it's gonna be really strong. Something that this reminds me of was a cream blush that Nars used to have called Cactus Flower. I wanted it forever when I was in college, but I could never justify spending the money. This is very, very similar. I think this would be gorgeous on a night out, or like I said, if you have tan skin, I think this is perfect for tanner skin tones. Next blush is called Bliss. This is another color that straight out of the palette I was like, automatically drawn to because I love my peaches, I love my oranges, and this is no exception. This is very similar to Cantaloupe by MAC, which is a pro blush that I can't put down, but it's a little bit lighter in shade. So for those of you with really fair skin tones, you're absolutely gonna love this color because it's gonna show up and be like your everyday kind of go-to shade. The formula of this is more of a sheer tone, so you have to build it up a little bit. If you're really dark skinned, I would be careful because it is a lighter shade. You don't want it to look ashy on your skin, but light to medium skin tones, I think this would be really beautiful on. I know I can't wait to wear it, and if I'm not gonna wear like a whole lot, or if I just want a little bit of color, this is the blush that I would go for. Next blush is another top one for me, and this is called Infatuation. The names are so cute. So this is a terracotta shade with a little bit of a brown undertone. This is gonna be perfect for anyone from fair all the way up to medium skin tones. Darker can probably still wear it, it just might not show up as much, but this is like a blush and a bronzer built in one. If you just want that little bit of color, you don't have time to contour, maybe you don't like to contour, this is gonna be your shade. The reason I love it so much is because it reminds me of Madly from Nars, which is my favorite Nars blush. This one's just a little bit darker, and I cannot wait to wear this. This is a color, like I said, I would wear and not really worry about contouring, or maybe do a little bit of contour and just put this on. But it's the perfect neutral everyday shade. You got a smoky eye, you got a bright lip, pop this on and it's still gonna give a little bit of color to your face. The next color is called Smitten. This is another gorgeous melon cantaloupe color. I love that they came out with so many orange peachy shades because I think they're so flattering. This one is a little bit lighter than Bliss, which I said was one of the lighter orangey shades. This one is definitely a lot more of a melony cantaloupe color. Like, it looks like the outside of a cantaloupe with a little bit more orange. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google a cantaloupe. This one will be good for people from fair to medium skin tones. It's going to be flattering on every undertone because it's got a neutral base, which means it's not too pink and it's not too warm. It's right in the middle, kind of like that peachy undertone. And this is another one of those for summer. You want minimal makeup. Pop this on the cheeks, head out the door. This one again is more of a sheer tone, so it's not gonna be extremely pigmented. You're gonna have to build it up a little bit, which is good for summer because less is more in the summer. Next is my favorite pink from the bunch, and this is called Head Over Heels. This is the perfect tone for your everyday pink shade. I don't wear pink blushes that often, but when I do, the ones that I love is this. It reminds me of Down Boy blush from the Balm, which is my favorite pink blush. So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of this. It's not too fuchsia and it's not too peach. It's that perfect like mauve-y kind of tone. Beautiful on every skin tone. So if you're looking for an everyday blush and you don't like orange shades, this is gonna be something I think that you would really, really like. Next is a really cool color. This is called Secret Admirer. And this is a true lilac. I don't think I've ever tried a straight up purple blush, but this is the closest thing I've ever come to it. And lilac and purples are so in right now, so I think this is a great color to try out. It has a lot of cool pink undertones, so it's gonna look beautiful on fair skin. It's just gonna kind of make you light up. This is the color that I think of when I think of like spring and summer and like the flowers. This is the color I think of, and I think it's really, really pretty. Next is Rendezvous. This is the baby doll pink. Like when I think of looking like the little doll, this is the color that I would go for. If you have a more slim face, pop this on the apples of your cheeks and it's just gonna make you look so youthful. I think of like Kim Kardashian when I think of this color because she always loves that like baby pink on the apples of her cheeks. It's a little bit more cool tone with a little bit of fuchsia in there, and I just think this would be so flattering on those of you who have more cool skin tone. This would be gorgeous with a hot pink lip and some gloss or even like a berry color. Those two would be perfect together. The next color is one I know I'm gonna get a ton of use out of, and this is Spellbound. This looks like Melba for MAC, so if I had to pick one blush out of all of these I think people are gonna go nuts over, it's gonna be this color. It's so creamy, and this has peach and pink, so it's the perfect everyday blush. This blush is gonna look good with any kind of makeup. Smoky, natural, warm, cool. This goes with everything, and I think everyone should try this one. If you can only pick one, I would pick Spellbound. The last one I have in a pan is called Honeymoon. This one I would consider more of like a luminizer because it's a champagne with little flecks of glitter in it. I don't know if I'm crazy about it yet. I think the color is beautiful, but the glitter kind of turns me off. You guys know I like to glow, but glitter on my cheeks is probably a little bit too far. From swatching it, I think it was just a little bit too chunky with the glitter, but this was my least favorite out of the ones I have in my Z palette. So I have two left, and they're in the compact form, and first is in the shade First Love. This is a very, very pale cotton candy pink. Like, if you look at cotton candy, how pale pink it is, this is the shade that it looks like. I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of use out of this one either because I feel like it's just too pale, so I think you're going to have to be more on the fair side because if you're darker, I think really light blushes look kind of ashy. So I wasn't crazy about this color. It's just not something I'd really go for, but if you're into that sort of thing, this one is called First Love. And the last blush that I have is called Hanky Panky, and I can't help but laugh like when I think of the name Hanky Panky. Like, I wonder where that came from. This is a true pink. Like, when you think of fuchsia pink, that's what this is. It's a matte finish, so there's not really any sheen in it. This will be for anyone who likes pink blushes. You gravitate towards that pink. This is what I would go for. It just makes you look kind of naturally flushed. I think this is going to be the most flattering on people who have blonde hair and blue eyes and more on the fair side because it's going to make you look like a little Barbie doll. So again, this one is Hanky Panky. If I had to pick only three, my top three would be first would be Summer Fling, which is the gorgeous orange I said I'm wearing on my cheeks today. And then next would be Spellbound, which is the one I think everyone's gonna go crazy over. This is so similar to Melba from MAC. And then last would be Infatuation, which is the terracotta brown color, I think. I just love these kind of shades. So I hope this video was helpful and it'll make it easier for those of you who are wanting to try out the blushes. Like I said, I'll link everything down below so you can go to the colors that you like. I love you guys so much. Make sure to let me know in the comments what blush was your favorite and which one you would like to see me use in a tutorial. And until then, I will see you in my next video. Bye!